In the autumn of 1989, 5 Indigenous officers from the Pine Ridge Tribal Police disappeared without explanation. They were patrolling near the reservation's edge in Montana, answering what dispatch recorded as a standard roadblock alert. After 10:15 p.m. that evening, radio silence fell. The vehicle's tracker went dark. No reinforcements were summoned, and the officers, 3 men and 2 women, simply evaporated. No remains, no truck, no observers, nothing. County officials extended muted sympathies but probed half-heartedly. They hinted the group might have veered off tribal territory into harsh backcountry. The term deserted duty whispered through back channels, but within the close community, the term was always erased. Among them was Officer Lena Black Eagle, a 26-year-old parent of 3, and one of the few women on the force then. Her cousin Marcus Black Eagle was also on shift that night, part of the Lost 5. Their aunt, Ilara, spent the following decades placing a lantern on the porch each dusk, certain the truck would surface someday. Others assumed it rested at the base of one of the deep ravines scarring the tribal grounds like old wounds, cold, profound, and ignored. The Black Eagle relatives weren't alone in the tribe's quiet grief. Officer Theo Strong Wolf, a honored Army vet, had come back to the reservation only a year prior to uphold order. He was admired and intimidating, a figure defined by rigor over kindness. The newest was Kira Swift Fox, just 22 and weeks into active patrols. Her mother led the tribe's emergency response team. Completing the team was Harlan Storm, a reserved, steadfast veteran with 18 years served and whispers of an unsubmitted retirement form. What bound them that night, and what dissolved them remains partly shrouded. In the aftermath, the Bureau of Indian Affairs opened a shared missing persons file, but swiftly transferred it to state police. The shift was procedural. No thorough inquiry followed. A cursory volunteer sweep of the adjacent cliffs occurred. The county marshal's summary deemed it transport misplaced, likely mishap, personnel missing. Hunts halted after merely 9 days. 9 days for an entire shift. The tribe remembered, but the outside world forgot. 24 years on, in the spring of 2013, a mining survey team reached the north shore of Shadow Canyon Reservoir. A fresh or extraction venture planned to carve a tunnel through the basin. A provisional barrier upstream lowered the water dramatically for the first time in generations. On the 10th day of digging, workers noticed an object lodged in the silt and reeds by the ancient cliffside. It was the hood of a patrol truck. Tribal markings faintly discernible under the rust. Soon, salvage crews verified the hunch. This was the vanished vehicle from 1989. Within, somewhat shielded by mud and chill, sat 3 human skeletons in the cab. No firearms retrieved. A set of stained restraints lay on the back floor. The left rear glass was shattered outward. But the real shock was a zipped evidence pouch crammed between the console and a vent, as if shoved in haste. Inside, a videotape marked in smudged blue pen. Don Fox, the youngest officer's alias. The FBI stepped in. Media trucks trailed. For the first occasion in years, the reservation hosted national agents, not for safeguarding, but to contain the fallout. Ilara Black Eagle waited by the reservoir's bank as the truck emerged from the muck. She remained wordless, gazing at the horizon, murmuring, "Let their echoes rise." The tape soon emerged. The tale started to fray, but its revelations stunned everyone on the reservation and afar. The videotape labeled Don Fox was hurried to a tech lab in Helena. Due to its delicate state and submersion, it was dried in a controlled environment and meticulously digitized over 4 days. Specialists anticipated warped footage or dim ambient sounds, perhaps fleeting comms chatter. What emerged was profoundly unsettling. The recording opened with ragged breaths. A woman's voice, thought to be Officer Kira Swift Fox, whispered, dazed and wounded, "If this reaches anyone, it's Kira. I can't find the rest. We were diverted. This isn't normal. We weren't meant for that path." The remainder spanned 8 minutes and 12 seconds. No explicit identities mentioned. But in a shaky tone, Swift Fox recounted how the team was rerouted by a comm that bypassed dispatch. The caller supplied grid points by Shadow Canyon, areas off their jurisdiction. Then the link dropped. Next, per her, an anonymous signal intruded. No ID, no code, just a ghost voice pushing them farther into the crags. Then quiet. The following segment was turmoil, skidding wheels, clashing shouts, interference buzz, and a lone wail. At the close, faintly, a line looped twice. "It wasn't for us." No one could wholly decode the tape. The FBI later called it ambiguous in source and substance. But Pine Ridge locals who viewed it swore the voice was Kira Swift-Fox's. Meanwhile, outrage surged. For the initial time since 1989, major networks covered the 5 lost Indigenous officers. Stories spotlighted the truck's unearthing, but beneath lurked deeper agony. Eras of oversight, boundary muddles, and concealed facts. Marcus Black Eagle's role grew pivotal. As kin to Lena and a vanished officer, his legacy resonated. Dug-up minutes from tribal assemblies in 1989 showed Marcus had voiced concerns weeks prior about odd unsanctioned sweeps near corporate mining claims flanking tribal soil. He flagged signal jams and lodged a vanished alert that evaporated from both tribal and county archives. Some theorized the team was baited. Others posited they encountered the forbidden. Then a odder turn. A resident named Elias Thorne, a former surveyor dwelling beyond the reservation, surfaced after the truck news. In 1989, Thorne contracted with a mining firm, Vanguard Minerals, for terrain evaluations. He asserted that in mid-November, the month after the officers faded, he spotted beams along the eastern bluff of Shadow Canyon. Spotlights, he said, as if conducting ops, rigs, workers in unmarked outfits. When he revisited, the zone was pristine. No prints, no gear, no skid marks. He recalled it vividly as the soil was damp from storms. It seemed sanitized. No one heeded him in 1989. He lacked tribal ties, and the marshal's office brushed him off as imagining. But in 2013, with a truck hauled from that reservoir and a spectral voice murmuring from a degraded tape, Thorne's account demanded attention. It spurred the unlocking of stale public info requests from Indigenous rights organizations. Amid censored papers was a terse note citing a collaborative drill in late 1989 between Vanguard Minerals and the county marshal's office, abutting the reservation line. The note predated the officer's loss by 2 days. On the reservation, Alara Black Eagle started hosting group remembrance circles by the reservoir. She sought facts, not payouts or regrets. No more secrets in the depths, she informed journalists. During one circle, a man named Ronan Grey Owl, a relief comms operator for tribal police in the late 80s, confided in Alara. He hadn't gone public in decades. His revelation pivoted the narrative anew. Per Ronan, the evening the 5 officers dissolved, he caught a follow-up signal post-loss. A deep tone on the crisis frequency. It uttered solely, Unit 7 vanished. Erase this. The transmission wasn't documented as Ronan omitted it. Terror gripped me, he admitted, quivering. They ordered no probes on the transfer. Called it county. Business. But that wasn't county. That was no familiar soul. Now, after years, the echo lingered. The enigma of the lost officers morphed from regional sorrow to something sinister. Mining packs, wiped logs, rogue freks, and a people assured their guardians merely faded. But as the tribe delved, it clarified the erasure of those 5 wasn't merely what they uncovered. It was who they represented. By midsummer 2013, tribal sages, area reporters, and broadcast outlets swarmed Pine Ridge like gathering clouds. The FBI issued a curt declaration, vowing a complete probe into the truck's retrieval. But on reservation grounds, trust was nil. Probe equated to stall. Yet the affair endured. The salvaged bones from the truck were ID'd via bone scans as officers Harlan Storm, Lena Black Eagle, and Theo Strong Wolf. That ID offered fleeting solace until pathology details hit. All frames displayed breaks mismatched to wreck damage. Lena's ankles bore fine cracks from extended binding. Harlan's right arm was crushed without repair signs, implying paramotum. But the starkest was nylon strap remnants fused to Theo's neck vertebrae. The dossiers sketched brutality. This wasn't a patrol felled by mishap or elements. This was elimination. 2 officers stayed missing, Marcus Black Eagle and Kira Swift Fox. The hunt for their traces widened over the jagged bluff rimming the reservoir. Tribal helpers, augmented by indie forensics pros, scoured overgrown paths once trod by mining haulers in the 80s. They unearthed a concealed atrocity. In a thicket a mile east of Shadow Canyon, a decayed, unlicensed storage shed emerged. Overrun with vines and earth, it surfaced post-clearing. Within, under splintered planks and wire rolls, pros located bone shards, fused name tags, and most eerie, a marshal's gear sack with 7 locked file pouches. Each dated and named. 2 aligned with the lost officers. These should have been in county vaults, but checks revealed zilch. They'd bypassed entry. 1 pouch held Theo Strong Wolf's log from an earlier case. Notably, a freelance guard named T.M. Voss, who reportedly menaced him amid a boundary infraction the prior year. In his script, Voss ain't official. Says county cleared him. Off here. Always lurks the bluff, dodges queries. The sheet ripped at base. A blood streak hid the rest. Sleuths now possessed tangible links tying external guards, errant enforcers, and the end spots of at least 3 victims. But threads kept pulling. A week post-shed find, a lady named Aria Swift Fox neared tribal leads. She was Kira's aunt. She'd resided in Colorado since 1992, mute after the case folded. Now back with the unforeseen, a note. Kira penned it days pre-vanishing. Undelivered. Aria uncovered it tucked in an aged logbook during estate clearance. It addressed Marcus Black Eagle. Marcus, this ain't reportable yet. But I witnessed the session. Saw the docks. They ain't leasing. They're poisoning wells by the basin. You warned stay clear. I didn't. They tailed me to the truck. Unsafe. If gone, don't hush it. That plea ignited fresh demands. Indigenous coalitions pushed to declassify vintage mining leases between Vanguard Minerals and the county. Scribes probed firm audits, finding Vanguard restructured 4 times from 1988 to 1995. A hidden partner in founding papers, Marshal Harlan Crow, the very marshal who oversaw the 1989 hunt, signed the closure docs, and soon after the 2013 truck lift, quit abruptly and faded from sight. Crow unseen since autopsy leaks. Abruptly, the affair wasn't tragedy alone. It was rot embedded, planned, and interred across bodies. In a dim tribal archives nook, a curator named Silas Rain combed old detention records from 1988 to 1989. Anomalies nagged. In the half-year pre-loss, tribal patrol entries dropped 38%. Despite rising gripes, most summaries lacked depth. Crucially, nearly all border breach reports marked settled, no fine. Silas spotted more. A lone entry from Marcus Black Eagle's log a week prior. 11:03 p.m. noted 4 rigs on Bluff East. Plateless, armed crew. Radio attempt jammed. Retry dawn. His final submission. Silas matched to next upload. Absent. File purged. On site the quest grew. And at last, 1.5 miles east of the shed, a helper glimpsed a gleam in soil. A tag split, etched Black Eagle. Under it, in canvas, 3 bone segments. Forensics rushed. Officer Marcus Black Eagle identified, but torso absent. Just the tag, bones, and the clear intent to entomb these tales. Marcus's partial find sufficed to revive the case federally. The FBI upped it from old vanishing to multi-kill with likely official malfeasance. First formal nod in years that crime befell the 5. But in Pine Ridge, it rang empty. They'd known. What feds termed malfeasance, sages called concealment. The gap wasn't words, it was existence. As FBI swept the shed, tag zone, and canyon fringe, a parallel probe ran quietly by Indigenous law aides and scribes. They bypassed waiting. They amassed proof. Heading them was reporter Nia White Raven, whose aunt policed Pine Ridge in the 70s, retiring a year pre-losses. Nia chronicled since 2007, pre-truck surfacing. Her records, chats, and info bids were precise. One chat shown, 2009, she met Lyle Harlan, ex-Vanguard guard. Employed 5 months in 1989, axe post-November. He recalled posting at a temp barrier on the eastern bluff, near the later shed spot. He remembered an alert that night. Minutes later, a van sped up, armored figures emerged. Not local force. No martial emblems, no tribal, but armed, wired, commanding. Lyle tried internal flag. Fired promptly. Nia taped it, filed as dud. Now, with 4 officers deadish, 1 AWOL, and truck up, Lyle's words weighed heavy. She remapped his sight. It synced to shed chords. The yarn twisted afresh. Meanwhile, Tex pried new clues from the truck. Under rear bench lining, saved by seal and fate, a ripped cloth scrap. Initials MB. Gene test, Marcus Black Eagles. Fluid traces matched others, but none Kira Swift Fox. First, probes pondered horror. Did one flee as the truck sank? Via shattered glass? Through depths. Elara Black Eagle hosted Agent Kira Voss, FBI head. The agent detailed bone placement, strap jams, splatter, suggested one escaped pre-submersion. Elara's voice shook. Marcus? No reply, but next briefing, FBI affirmed at least 1 of 5 evaded the truck's plunge. The tribe met not joy but ache. If one lived, then silenced or roaming. Then breakthrough. A drifter admitted to a clinic in Idaho as unnamed. Off-grid years. No papers, mute mostly, but in lucidity to aid. Saw them perish. Heard Lena yell go. Felt the crash as liquid smashed the pane. Aide dismissed till news. Alerted officials. Gene match defied odds. The drifter was Officer Kira Swift-Fox. Alive after 24 years. Kira had endured. Now vital but hushed. FBI locked the site, started health checks. Hoped for insights. But her quiet hid depths. When Nia White Raven sought visit, denied. But she slipped a note via tribal link. Your aunt unearthed your note. The earth recalls. Next dawn, Kira scrawled on tissue at meal. Bluff. Sole hint from her. Agents and tribal hunters zoned on Upper Eastern Bluff deemed the setup for that night's horror. Soil radar joined scent hounds. Trek tough. Land shifted over years. But by a sunken access path, they hit a locked vault under slate. Inside, files and sealed bins, plans, shift rosters, scrawled memos, snaps. Many stamped. Most classified shadow op. At base, a ripped snap. Armed cluster by dark van. Center man bore marshal tag. Harlan Crow. Not solo. Behind, faint, Marcus Black Eagle bound vital. The snap altered all. First since 1989, visual that Marcus endured initial snatch, captive, chained aft Harlan Crow. His look stern, garb rumpled, no terror, just resolve. He appeared aware of the lens, and chillingly its purpose. Image worn, folded, likely shot within hours post-loss. Hand dated, 11/45/89, day after. Others hard to peg, faces shaded by visors, poor light. But stance screamed trained, private ops level. Not routine force. One stood apart. Right flank, broad figure in tan coat, faded badge, Van M13. Matched Vanguard Minerals Guard crest. With it, the saga flipped from lost cops to secret holds, firm plots, and illegal acts on sacred ground. FBI couldn't dodge anymore. Subtle inquiry into Vanguard launched, but sluggish. Firm fused thrice, renamed twice, ops offshore. Trail maze-like. Yet drips flowed, mails, ledgers, watch logs. In one blurred doc, a transfer under ghost firm tied to H. Crow Association. Date, December 1989. Sum, $90,000. Note, area purge. The snap and leaks pushed official action. Lawmakers demanded Indy review of the Pine 5 affair. Rights lawyers dubbed it peak misuse of border fog in recent enforcer annals. But in Pine Ridge, no triumph. They craved verity. And Marcus. While feds tangled red tape, Nia White Raven's crew honed on Kira's tip. Bluff. Not the shed bluff. Another. One in ancient lore and hunter cautions. Echo Stone Bluff, old right spot, barred to outsiders post-1950s land acts. Few elders had trod it. Nia, with sage nods and Alara, gained right past to scout. Hike brutal, thick brush, rough earth, no paths. But hours in, party halted. A corroded hatch semi-buried in leaves and stumps, blank, concealed openly. Hours to force. Below, shaft dropping 20-foot dark. Rung descent. Air musty, sealed ages. Found, bunker, basic, rough-hewn. Vacant but marred. Gouged on wall, tally scores, thousands. Beside, spoke fact, they entombed it. Under, soil recalls. So shall we. Gene tests later traced Marcus Black Eagle's fluid and cells in bunker. Held, likely tormented, perhaps months longer. Why? Answer days hence, when nameless parcel hit Nia's lodge. Inside, tape 2. Label, Fox follow-up, 1990. Not from truck, Canyon Bluff. Mailed out state, no sender. Direct to Nia. Contents floored listeners. Unlike frantic first, this calm, ordered like debrief. Kira Swift-Fox's tone steady. Officer Kira Swift-Fox here. If this plays, I faltered, but record must live. Named rest, Lena, Harlan, Theo, Marcus fully. Detailed ambush by plainclothes after fake lure. Seized comms, bound, hooded. Split. Last sight, Marcus battling, yelling rights, as Crow barked finish pre-dawn. Tape's end. If I fail return, tell Alara I strove. They claimed we eyed forbidden, but we eyed all. Heard of toxins in streams, payoffs, grabs pre-approvals. Said tribal badges worthless. No belief. Mistaken. Snap off. Tape vetted by pros. Same make, recorder as first. Voice perfect. But who dispatched, why now? Kira pre-fade, or watcher hoarding 20-plus years, timing reveal? Trace parcel, time consuming. Meanwhile, new map. East Echo Stone, from leaked Vanguard dock as Sector L. No detail, just stamp from November 1989. Sector L prep done. Blue squad locked. Surplus to L East. Next hunt there. Sector L off maps. No public trace, county plots, tribal deeds. Sole hint in cryptic Vanguard lease memo amid packs and orders. Just, sectoela. Yet every thread led there. Nia White Raven and tribal sleuths, with trusted indie analysts, pinpointed via dates, landforms, officer paths to 1.5 miles square past Echo Stone. Land quietly flipped by state to private mine hold in 1988, year pre-loss. Buyer shell with Vanguard links. Undeveloped, no structs, no licenses, no entry, just wild growth and stone. Access via tribal ways, team footed with flyers and radar. Days scanning till flyer caught cold wrecked under, artificial. Mark dug. Feet down, steel portal. No labels, fused lock, panel corroded. Cut bolts. Door yielded grudging. Air oily, dry metallic. Cement walls. No frills, wiring save dead lamps pinned roof. Not base detention. Hall end, lone steel door. Scratched, Marcus Black Eagle. Inside, cell remnants, wall rings, tip stool with straps, flip bed, under it tin case of shredded sheets, soaked notes, deputy tag remnant. Number gone, but script Marcus's. Pages mad rants or sharp pleas. 1. Snatched for seeing, hearing, not acting. Bluff never ours, traded under. Another. No return from Sector L, yet here. Last. Buried deep, think gone. But earth recalls, streams unforgiving. Amid notes, sketched chart. Rough yet clear. Not just L but subs L East cross point, the hollow. Nia snapped all. Ramifications vast. Not singular grab, network multi-spot to quash, mute, discard watchers. Tied to illicit digs, toxin dumps, soil grabs under sacred. In capitals, word hit feds. Secret group formed, tribal reps observed, many declined. No federal faith. Instead, Black Eagle kin right at Sector L entry. Elara, weary yet fierce, by Nia, clutched Marcus's pages. No need their tale, she said. Just halt the feign. Days later, in Idaho Clinic, Kira Swift Fox voiced after decades. 2 words, the hollow. Officials rushed cross-check with Nia's chart, Marcus's scribbles. Hollow spot half-mile northeast Sector L, but blocked by sinkhole. Overhead shots. Odd sink 80 feet wide. FBI sent dig crew. Weak to sight. Find, core of case. Mass burial, scores skeletons, fresh to ancient. Not just officers, not Marcus. Men, youth, sages. None official missing. Some tribal cards interred. Others unknown. Dig weeks, 42 remains out. No longer Pine 5 alone. Pattern proof. Lineages of erasures veiled by soil fights, border shifts, firm shadows. All under dirt. That eve, Nia with Kira in clinic meet room. Kira silent, but Nia tabled bluff snap, Marcus bound. Kira eyed long. Nodded once. Affirm needed. Tribe prepped right for all souls. Not 5, but every muted echo drowned in canyons, buried under firm stone. But tally unfinished. Marshal Harlan Crow still loose, not sole evader. Harlan Crow loomed as unspoken specter in every report, right clue. By 2013, septuagenarian retiree, last sighted quitting post days post truck. No fanfare, no word, just exit and fake Wyoming mail drop. Feds tagged evasive. In Pine Ridge Plain, fled not alone. Nia White Raven, now scribe and casekeeper, tracked Crow's 80s links. Matched land deeds, force lists, funders, Vanguard Guard contracts. Webb, 9 men, all non-native, county tied, roles in guard, force or land calls pre-loss years. 6 deceased, strokes, trail falls, auto wrecks. 2 abroad. 1 Mexico visa. Other renamed. Left 2 U.S. traceable. 1, Victor Lang, ex-county filer, signer of lost logs. Nia found him Wyoming remote, real name low-key. At his spread with crew and tribal rep, Lang barred. But pre-leave, he slit door. Seeking Crow? Nia mute. He's Alaska. Old trap shack group funded 70s. Avoids people. Distrusts. Find via smokes. Smokes? Door shut. Week later, overhead scan via media ally showed remote clear deep Alaskan wilds past territory. Hut faint, for char spots round. Day 5, U.S.-Canadian joint? Wait, Alaska-U.S. but say border near. Authorities raided on tip. Found Harlan Crow vital, gaunt, ill, with singed file hoard. Yielded easy. Haul, 7 crates, fire safe. Safe, 1,989 field briefs, tribal shifts, mine ledgers for tapes. Labeled numeric, 0104. First 3 mute, 4th not. Confession. Crow's tone aged gravel. Never meant. There. They assured. That eve, unit off bluff. Packed. Firm takes soil we quiet. No metal. Detailed November 1989. Vanguard dumping banned chems into reservation aquifers. Shipped fake labels as tool wash, but toxic outlawed. Crow took cuts to divert patrols 2 months. But eve November 17th, logs show Marcus Black Eagle rerouted unit on suspected illicit rigs post hours. Crow freaked. One call, 120 minutes, unit gone. Confession, no kill intent, just scare. But guards ramped. Permanent, irreversible. Ended flat. They were finest, we fed wolves. Taped to tribal, Justice Department community shunned regrets. Wanted seal. Harlan Crow extradited, charged block justice, plot, illegal hold, aid multi-kills. Trial next fall. But week pre-panel, Crow dead in cell. Organ fail, no crime, no court words, no end note. Sole remnants, tape words. Safe under recorder, missive to Pine Ridge kin. Held files. Hated erase. Coward? Guilty? Wanted no not all willed. Some voiced. System muted us too. And signed. Inside, 1982 snap. Dozen tribal officers, fresh, optimistic, front Pine Ridge station. Among Marcus, Lena, Theo, Harlan, Kira grins. Tape stored. Proof locked. But recall surfaced, world tuned. Post-Crow cell death, Justice Department rushed damage control. Memo spun tail curb, feds bartered with Pine Ridge Council. Compensations, packs, funds for aid, quiet. Tribe rebuffed. No coin veiled truth. Last Pine 5-piece AWOL, Marcus Black Eagle. Blood scribbles, name gouged walls. No form, no tomb, no end till sound tech on Crow's 4th tape spotted odd. Post-confession quiet, under static layer. Botched wipe. Audio pros pulled. Older weak Marcus's tone. No cry, no fear, declare. Officer Marcus Black Eagle. If found note, no stumble. Watched. Knew. Proofed. Sole error, badge faith. Detailed 3-month dossier pre-loss. Soil charts, dump snaps, stream poison logs. Plan council media share. But leaked to foes. Tape close. Tell Ann I stood. Entered blaze, must someone. Clip broadcast national. Marcus symbol. Weeks, scribes unearth kin tales other reserves. Odd patrol fades, border breaches, ghost signals, shut probes on native cops. 1979 Wyoming case, 1985 New Mexico. Both cops lost probing soil rows, unseen since. Marcus voiced them, but finale pending. Then Kira Swift Fox, words shards and voids pierced. Surprise visit, Nia handed folded old squad snap. 5 officers uniform, pre-last tour. Kira gazed. Whisper, spared Marcus. Nia alert. Halting. Too seen, hazardous. Shifted past bluff, past depths, alive. Where? Kira unsure, but repeat. The hollow. Already dug known grave. But Marcus' chart showed second dip northeast near old channel. Dismissed where then, but fresh scans, buried plate under rock roots. Breached, no corpse. Sealed file chest. Inside, video spool for binders, photo stacks. Some fuzzy, others sharp. Rigs, vats, mine units, borders crossed illegal. Also Marcus, vital, by elder native unknown. On spool restored Marcus off lens. Not just streams or toxins. Who claims tomorrow? Draining us as unstoppable. Lens sweeps vat rows, codes later banned chems. Footage affirmed all plus. Binders, signed admit, not Crow, but Fed contractor on classified ops near Pine Ridge 1988 to 1989. Name blurred, sign partial. TMV, TM Voss, guard Lena noted pre-fade. Real present docked all, perhaps self-shield, but left trail to undo. Voss presumed dead, plane drop 2001. No body, no chance now. Justice Department reacted. Special group probed Fed contractors near native soil 1970 to 2010. Hearing set. Leakers emerged anon, details Operation Bluff. Unverified plan to watch, quell tribal pushback on Fed resource deals. Pine Ridge test. Lost officers, uncovered national scheme. Marcus likely detained warning, captive for mute. Perhaps lived to slip files, hide footage, send end via proxy Kira Swift Fox. Tribe set May 3rd Marcus Day, not mourn vow. Vow recall, guard, never let quiet entomb fact. But justice near, query lingered, Marcus where? For reveals, docks, pits, admits post-truck 2 years. Haunt same, Marcus fate? Endured grab. Held, pained. Left tapes, charts, words. New coming, still lost. By summer 2015, Pine Ridge case public. Operation Bluff probe on. Retired guards testified safe. None pegged Marcus End till name from odd source. Nia sifting old packs, staff shifts vanguard, hit odd pay, monthly for remote guard lodge. Under alias, address to secluded recovery farm British Columbia, Canada. Site renamed for since 1989. Prior, MT Aurora Care Lodge. Cross timeline, fit quiet 1990 to 1995, Post Bluff. When multi-secret pays routed overseas guards. Nia to council. Sages decided, self-go. 6 North, Nia, Alara, Examiner, 3 tribal cops. No buzz, no feds, no scribes, just long suffered. At rural site, now priv care blocked. Head denied U.S. folk 90s. No logs post, 2005 flood. But land spoke. Elder worker near Alara private. Man here. Silent. Called Martin, eyes held all. Left pre-flood. Walked wilds. Gone. Stay. 7 years, 90-ish. Showed snap, Marcus Black Eagle. No hesitation, him. Brought tales. Marcus lived. Held your plus, shifted, not slain, stashed far from eyes, law recall. No name, no calls, no probes. Then day, self-faded. Team back Pine Ridge, no form, no tomb, no seal. But Alara, enough. Sun unbroken. Not tossed. Outlasted mute. Then last twist. Months on, heritage skin old echo stone path, trekker found trunk etched signs. Not letters, tribal glyphs. One fact, other watcher, below date, November 17th, 2015, 26 years post-loss. Fresh, sharp, new. Soul knower that date, soul skilled to endure off unseen. Marcus Black Eagle no more lost. Became sentinel. Some claim returned to forgetting soil, not found but watch. Some spirits guard from duty, not hurt. In Pine Ridge view, Marcus undead. Still shifts. The Pine Ridge probe events remade beyond small Montana reserve. Shook how indigenous tones treated, crimes logged, justice doled on sacred. By 2018, via Black Eagle kin tireless, Nia White Raven, tribal heads, base pushers, U.S. Congress held formal session. Erased guardians, systemic lapses in indigenous enforcer losses. Open quiet for 5, Lena Black Eagle, Harlan Storm, Theo Strong Wolf, Kira Swift Fox, Marcus Black Eagle. 4 forms recovered. 1 lived, refaded, but 5 exposed systems so hid it's being denied decades. Session freed 3,000 plus fed pages, including orders auth spy, covert quash under resource shield guise. Deep, Operation Bluff blueprint, affirming Pine Ridge known. No mishap design. Used border holes, firm cache, office apathy to mine native soil while muting protectors. Gov issued, 2019 formal regret. Headlines big. But Pine Ridge, words weightless. Built instead. On old station site, tribe raised memory hub. Not 5, but all native enforcers lost, wiped, overlooked duty. Center, granite slab, etch, never strayed. Stolen. Never mute. You deaf. Yearly November 17th, Folk Rim Reservoir, where truck rose, where depths held fact. Sages speak, kin lanterns, chance woods, always one leaves lone tag in dirt under slab. Nod to still lost, unoted, returned but unhomed. Nia White Raven book that year. The Bluff line, how 5 indigenous officers shattered a burying silence. Bestseller, taught justice courses nation. But for her, book not close. Marker. True close never full. Queries open. UnID'd hollow bones. Whispers Marcus cited once, crossing iced path 3 towns, cloak elder than stationed cops. No halt. No query. Watched fade to white. Some deemed dead. Others else. Icon shade note mute ways. Justice true walks slow, sure. Unseen like him.